Welcome to Let's Talk Safe Money. I'm your host, 𝒑𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒄, with my special guest today, Mr. Len Strickler of LS Financial Group. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
Yeah, good to be here, Paul. Thank you.
You're looking good, my friend. You're taking care of yourself. Hey, I wanted to jump in on some things about how long you've been doing this, Len. I mean, how long have you been in the industry?
Yeah, you know, it's I've been at this probably, I guess, about 16 years. However, I've had a lot of experience with doing financial. I had my own real estate firm. I had my own mortgage company.
Okay.
So I've been around this whole thing, but specifically helping folks in this particular arena about 16 years. Now, my partner, Art, who is a partner with me in this business, has been doing it 32 years. In South Florida, so he's been here for a long time. He's been, you know, specifically focused in the industry. Mm-hmm. So him and I make a really good team together, you know. Yeah,
yes. And so, what motivated you to choose this particular path?
Well, it's you know, in '08, you know, it's funny. I think I've shared with you before that I'm a martial artist. I came from the projects of Philly. Fought my way out of there, basically.
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty tough. I'm oldest of 8. My grandmother basically raised me, but I came out of there and I got involved in the martial arts, right, which kept me off the streets because I had a younger brother that the streets pretty much took him. The drugs, it's a pretty rough area. Yeah. But the martial arts really helped me a lot, Paul. It gave me discipline, you know, it gave me a focus, and so that was something that helped me break out of there. After that, I went in the Army, got the GI Bill. Yeah. And was able to go to college, graduated from Alabama, Roll Tide. Sorry, folks. I'm sure that
Roll Tide, right?
But anyway, I was able to pull myself up, you know, out of there. But, you know, life comes at you fast and hard. Would you agree?
You ain't kidding. Absolutely, it does. Yeah.
And sometimes curveballs come at you, Paul.
Yeah.
I had, you know, I kind of used my hands a lot for my martial arts, right? So I had a jab hit me in 2008. I had done well in the high-tech world after I got out of college. And I had a nice windfall blessing that came my way. We took the stock from $1.18 to $18, and I had a good amount of shares of stock. And so we sold the company, and but guess where I took that money?
Where?
To Florida.
Oh.
And where do you think I put it? In real estate.
I was just going to guess that. Yeah, you remember that.
Yeah, and so anyway, that was the first, you know, kind of jab. I want people to know that I understand, folks, where you are. I've been up, I've been down. I know where the potholes are. I've hit them, unfortunately. But so anyway, that came my way, and I lost a lot of money. I mean, I lost jumping off a building money. It was pretty bad. Yeah. Hard on my family, hard on my wife, and then, you know, a right cross comes in life. Here comes another one.
Yeah.
I go down with a triple bypass.
Oh, boy.
Right? And I was just getting ready to go on the road and do some motivational speaking and whatnot. And I had some things built, really nice website with some books and things I've already authored. And it kind of slowed me down. Well, then a left hook comes out of nowhere. My high school sweetheart of 45 years, Paul, she comes down with frontal temporal dementia. It's a form of Alzheimer's, MS. It's all under that Parkinson's, and it progresses very fast. Yeah. And she was got it at 55, and she was gone at 62. And so, you know, I say that to folks, not to say, whoa, Len, because there's a lot of folks in the world that have it a whole lot worse than I do, okay, or I did. But I say that because from a financial perspective, two things happened to me in that story I just told you. One was I lost money, and I vowed then I was going to refocus my business so that no one could look at Len and say, you've lost my money, okay? That was one thing I wanted to make sure of. You'll never lose your principal when you work with my partner, Art, and I. Never, okay? That's not what we do. And the second thing is I share that story because, folks, we have to take long-term care off the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you got to understand that, you know, 68% of us, okay, or no, 78% of 65 years and older are going to need some type of long-term care. So one place I had her, Paul, was $9,600 a month.
Wow.
96 a month.
Wow,
with drugs over 1,000.
Wow.
So, folks, it will emotionally wreck you for sure, but it will certainly financially wreck you. So we've got to help you take that off the table. We've got to help you get a hold of that.
You know, I've heard you talk a lot about diversification. I've heard other advisors talk about it, but would you clarify for the folks out there why it's important to be diversified? Because a lot of folks, I think, believe they are diversified, Len, when they're really not.
Right. Yeah, that's a good question, Paul. Yeah, one of the things that we do, you know, first thing, we always teach safe money, all right? We want to make sure you have a portion of your money in a safe place that you can never lose your principal, okay? And the older you get, the more you want that percentage in a safe place. So if you're 60, we say 60% of your portfolio should be in a safe place. If you're 70, 70%.
Got it.
So now, we're not against the market. The market's been great, does well for folks, okay? However, this diversification thing is kind of, you know, it's not really what everybody thinks it is. Because here's the deal. If we have an '08, let's say we have ships in a harbor, okay? We have a harbor and it's at high tide. And we've got the destroyers here, we got fishing boats here, we got all size ships. We got a little, you know, a guy out there fishing with his little, and a canoe and a kayak, right? Well, here we are. We got all these boats. You can picture them, right?
Yeah.
Now, what happens when low tide hits?
They drop.
They all drop.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? So my point is, this thing of diversification, folks, you got to be real careful, because if we have an '08 hit or a tech bubble hit, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're in bonds. Everything's coming down. Doesn't matter. So, but diversification, yes, you do want to be diversified. You do want to make sure you have, you know, a portion of your portfolio safe. And if you have some of the money in the market, now I like to tell you to get out of the Wall Street casino, folks. The older you get.
Sure.
All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you can't afford a loss. If you get losses in, you know, it'll take you 7 to 10 years.
Well, they've spent a lot of time to get to where they are.
Right.
Len, is really the point you're making,
That's
right?
correct. That's
if
correct.
you've invested all this time to accumulate this nest egg, now we got to start protecting it, preserving it.
Correct,
right?
correct. When you're coming on the downside of that mountain we talked about before, right?
Okay,
Going
so-
up, accumulation.
Yes.
Coming down, distribution.
Right.
Totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different. So we got to now figure out how to make sure we get you down the mountain safely.
So what are some ideas folks can do to make sure they protect and preserve their nest egg?
Well, one of the things is what we do is we do what we call safe money, okay? And so we put your money in some vehicles that you're not going to lose your money, right? So if the market goes up, you're going to get a little bit. You're not going to get all of it, but you're going to get some. But if the market goes down, you just stay and hold, okay? We say zero's your hero. So you just stay and hold, and then when the market comes back, you start to go back up again, okay? We call it red line, green line. So we put your money on the green line, all right?
Okay.
You don't want that roller coaster of the S&P 500, right?
Right.
It's up and down, up and down. Who wants that when you're in retirement?
So you're saying there's options available where they won't lose that nest egg at all.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it can only go up.
It only go up.
And in bad times, it would
It
be
just
just
stays
zero.
flat.
Wow, that's
correct.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's
It's a great, these particular products and vehicles have come a long way, Paul, in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
A long way.
it sounds
and
like
some
it.
of them
Yeah.
even have long-term care built right into them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
And we'll talk more about that.
Right.
But I understand, speaking of diversification, you have an offer for the viewers out there.
That's
Would you
right.
mind sharing that with everybody,
Absolutely,
Len?
absolutely. Folks, if you have $200,000, $300,000 in a 401k, an IRA, or whatever, we help folks. Even if you have $50, we help folks. We're not here to say we don't help you, but if you do have a nest egg, we work with a lot of folks that have teachers, you know, firemen, policemen, etc. And they have their money sitting there, 401k or an IRA or a SEP or whatever. You know, we want to help you get that money safe, right? We want to make sure that you don't lose that hard-earned money that you worked for. You can't lose it, folks. I've been there. I've done it. It hurts bad. And so we want to help you get that squared away. Give us a call, okay? We'll come in. Our team's ready, standing by to help you. We're going to make sure that we look at your whole portfolio, right? We're going to do an income analyzer for you, make sure that you have enough income to go the distance, right? We're going to also talk about this thing of diversification. We want to make sure that you're diversified. So that plan is going to help you really look at that. We're going to look at all those things for you. Taxes, inflation, we got to take all those things into account and make sure you have a good balanced portfolio. That's what we're here to do, folks. So give us a call. I tell you what I'll do is I'll go ahead and give you, if you call in today, I'm going to go ahead and give you I've got a book I just wrote, just got it off the press. It's 5 Steps to a Safe, Successful Retirement. Diversification is one of the things in there. I'll get that to you in an ebook. And if you come on in, call our team. You can come in either by, phone. We'll do a phone call with you, 30-minute consultation to make sure you're diversified. You can come in with a Zoom call, or you can come into our office. Just give us a call, 844-299-0355. That's 844-299-0355.
And again, that's completely complimentary, folks. I've seen firms charge upwards of $1,500 for these consultations. Again, a lot will be invested in you, the time, resources Len's team will put into you. All you have to do is pick up the phone. Make that investment in yourself today. Now, 844-299-0355. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Talk Safe Money. I'm your host, 𝒑𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒄. Thank you for being with us today. And a special thank you to my guest today, Mr. Len Strickler of LS Financial. Len, what an incredible topic, talking about diversification, because I think a lot of folks don't realize maybe they are a little bit too risky right now. And as they go into retirement or just have entered retirement, they need to be preserving what they've worked hard for. Right? So I think that's a powerful, powerful concept. You had an interesting story you were sharing with me in break, talking about making sure there's enough gas in the tank. What do you mean by that, Len?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of a funny story, right? Okay. It wasn't funny at the time. But I love these analogies, things that happen to you in life,
Real life.
that I put into practice here at my practice, Art and I. But, the whole idea is, do you have enough to go the distance? One of the number one concerns for retirees is, do I have enough money?
Right.
Because we're all living longer. Medical advances. some of us, look, we've worked maybe 30, 40 years. Well, guess what? We may be in retirement 30 or 40 years.
That's a good point.
So,
it's one of the biggest concerns I have for my family, right?
Yeah.
Will I have enough money to get me through retirement?
Right. So anyway, here's the story. Me and some buddies, we decided we're going to go across the desert, okay? We're in Vegas, right? And we want to go see the desert. I've never been across the desert. So we get a van, there's 4 of us. And so we head out across the desert, and we're just having a blast, we got the music cranking, and of course it's like 110 degrees out, right? And so the AC's cranking real good, right? We're having a good time, and we're trucking along, and all of a sudden, one of my buddies looks down and says, "Oh no, we've only got a quarter tank of gas left." And we didn't think much of that. And then all of a sudden another buddy said, "Guys, I just saw a sign that said the next gas station is 100 miles. Oh my goodness.
What?
The whole mood in that van changed, right?
110 degrees out.
Yeah, and so what do we do? Air conditioner turned off because we'll go further. So now you're in there like sweating to death.
Right.
It was terrible.
Oh,
and we knew we were going to run out of gas.
Yeah.
Now, and we did. But thank goodness there was one of those road rangers it just happened to be going up and down the highway and got us out of trouble.
Wow.
But can you imagine being out there in that heat?
I could not imagine it.
The feeling.
Yeah.
It was a very scary feeling.
The anxiety alone would get you
Yeah.
waiting, right?
So
speaking of which, Probably very similar to the anxiety, what it would feel like when you're starting to get low on your money.
That's exactly.
And you're 20 years into retirement.
That's exactly where I was headed with that, Paul. Thank you. That was great.
No, go. I mean,
no, but it's true. I mean, you know, the anxiety that we felt then, think about that. If you now all of a sudden in retirement and you don't have enough money to go the distance, okay? I mean, it's bad. It's a terrible feeling, right? So that's what we want to help you do. We want to make sure with a guaranteed lifetime income. You need guaranteed lifetime income.
So you can guarantee it.
That's it. You're going to get it. Even if you live to 120, you're going to get it. It's just like your Social Security.
Okay, how are you going to do that, Len?
We do that with what we call fixed indexed annuity.
Okay.
Now people go, oh, annuities, oh, they're bad, they're terrible. Annuities aren't bad. There are some bad annuities, and there's some bad sales folks that have put folks in the wrong design.
Yeah, they don't understand
They don't understand them, right? Or they put them in a variable annuity. Right? Because now you're right back in the market.
Yeah, that's just,
You're back in the market.
Just an
it's dangerous, yeah. So we put you in a guaranteed, it's one of the designs, okay? There's many different designs for annuities, but one of them is we want to make sure you have enough gas in your tank. Once you look down and know that, hey, you know what, I got a quarter of a tank here, guaranteed lifetime income, along with my Social Security and my pension, that's going to get me through the desert.
Got to stay on that quarter tank forever.
That's right.
Really?
That's right.
Even when the principal's all gone?
It doesn't matter. You're going to get, you're going to get that check every single month, just like Social Security.
Why wouldn't someone consider that?
Well, yeah, of course. You got to get
Talk about solving the anxiety.
Right, right. So that's one of the things that that we do. That, you know, we make sure that you have enough gas in that tank, right, with a guaranteed lifetime income annuity.
Right. And, you know, I've noticed, because it's interesting what you said. Some advisors, they will use, you know, different types of annuities, and they may not be the right kind for that person, and it may not fit their retirement plan. Let me ask you this question. Wouldn't that be a good time to consider maybe a second opinion to see where people are?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, second opinion, I think is so important because, remember, most advisors are trained, and I'm not bashing advisors because we are one, but they're trained to help folks get up the mountain. Accumulation. And it's then it's the return on my money. I want to get good return on my money.
Absolutely.
But when you come down that mountain, it's distribution now. I now want the return of my money.
Right. You want to be able to have money to spend. Is what you
and by the way, that's a totally different headset. Okay, that's what Art and I focus on.
Okay.
We don't focus, I mean, we want to make sure you're getting some nice returns, but we're really focused on getting you down the mountain safely and through your retirement with a guaranteed lifetime income.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So again, to do that, if someone wants to set a strategy to get that guaranteed lifetime income, I understand you have a special offer for them, right, Len?
That's exactly right. You folks, come in and see us. You know, I don't know if I can help you, right? I don't know, but I think probably for 70 or 80% of you out there, I believe I can help you. And I know for sure that I can help you get a guaranteed lifetime income so you don't run out of gas. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a complete analysis for you, an income analysis. And it's going to take everything into account for you. It's a complete review of your plan. And one of the things we want to make sure of in there, folks, is that you have a guaranteed lifetime income that's going to take you the distance. We've got to put that in there. If you don't have that in there, your portfolio is not optimized. That's a fact. So I got to help you get that in there. So come in. Our team's ready. We're here standing by to just give us a call. You can call us. We'll do it by phone, a 30-minute consultation on helping you make sure you have a guaranteed lifetime income in that portfolio. Give us a call today. We can do a phone call, we can do a Zoom call with you, whatever makes sense. You can come in and see us, but we want to make sure we get that to you, and we'll get that plan for you. 30-minute call. Pick up the phone. Give me a call. 844-299-0355. That's 844-299-0355.
And as Len said, that's completely complimentary, folks. Him and his team are willing to invest the time and energy it takes to make sure you have a guaranteed lifetime income. Think about it. The one thing you worry about the most can be solved with a phone call. 844-299-0355. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? we can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision, so why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Talk Safe Money. I'm your host, 𝒑𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒄. Again, my guest today is Mr. Len Strickler of LS Financial, and it's been an honor being with you, my friend, and we want to just thank you for being with us. It's been an honor being with you today. You know, we're learning some stuff. I know I am, for sure. And I wanted to ask you another story. I love your stories, Len, because it's so true how much stories just are reflections of experiences that are parallels to life.
Right, absolutely.
And when you put those next to the financial future and your strategy, it's a perfect parallel. You had one about a parked car. Could you share that with everybody? I love this story.
You know, it's interesting. I don't know about you. You know, you have kids, right? You have
Yes,
children.
I do.
And
Teenagers.
Teenagers. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. They go crazy. They turn 13 and something happens. I don't know what happens.
There's definitely a condition when you're a teen.
Anyway, but you know, I learn more from my kids. I tell stories about my kids and growing, you know, them growing up. But anyway, this story is about my children. But, you know, we talk about a parked car, right? Now, I can't help you if you're going to leave your car parked in the garage, okay? It's just going to rust, right? Now, I can help you steer it if it gets moving. So one of the things that I've always told my boys is, look, you got to take action. You got to take action, folks. I mean, so a lot of people, they just get into their, you know, head in the sand and just say, oh, it'll be better, you know. But no, you got to take action. So here's the story. Now, this is kind of bad. My wife and I first married, okay? We got these two little boys. One's like 4 and one's 6, okay? And so my wife, you should never do this, but she was doing Amway or something, so she's going to deliver some stuff to a lady, and she parks the car on a hill.
Oh, boy.
And she lets the car run.
Oh, boy.
It's quick, she says. I'm just running up and dropping it on the porch and coming back. Well, you know how fast kids can do something.
Well, you ain't kidding.
So the oldest is in the back with the young one. He says, I'm going to teach him how to drive. I'm going to show him how to get. And so he gets up into the front seat, right? And and my wife's coming down the steps from the, you know.
Oh, my gosh.
And she looks down, and he must have hit the gear shift. It was one of those back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
And the car is going down the hill.
Oh,
and she's,
wow.
I mean, she's screaming, freaking out. And thank God it didn't go across the highway. It hit a trash can in somebody's mailbox and stopped, right?
Wow.
But I mean,
talk about relieved.
Talk about relieved, right?
Yeah.
So what I say to folks is this. The lesson from that was, first off, somebody got a pretty good whipping, I can tell you.
I would imagine they got in trouble, that's for sure.
Back in the day, you know, my grandmother used to say, go pick the switch out.
Right.
But anyway, you know, she was so grateful they didn't get hurt, they didn't get killed, okay?
Absolutely.
And I want to help my clients. I don't want you to stay, now I don't want you to go down the hill here, folks, and get killed. So I want to get you out of the Wall Street casino.
Right.
I don't want you getting wiped out, okay, like I did in 08, okay? But I also don't want you to sit there in a parked car. We got to get your money working, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we need to help you guys do. We need to get your money working. I can't help steer you around the potholes if the car's parked. So the point of the story is, Paul, we got to take action.
You got to take action. That's the only way change will happen.
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about.
Right.
You have to initiate the change.
Initiate the change.
Yeah. You know, because I think there's a lot of us. I mean, look, with all the things that have happened from the pandemic, you know, the markets have risen, they've fallen. A lot of folks, you know, when you get a little bit panicked, your propensity is to sit still.
Right. Deer in headlights.
Yes.
You freeze.
And I'm guilty of it myself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we all are.
But you're saying these are times when you probably really want to review and make sure that money's safe.
Correct.
Make sure you're on the right path.
Absolutely.
Right? And that all starts with a good plan.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Len. So what's it like when people come to meet with you? What's it like? What's the setting like? Well, first of all, what do they need to bring with them?
Well, that's a good question. You know, I have clients that will come in, you know, like they say, Len, I just want to come in and chat with you first, okay? And that's fine, okay?
Right.
But in order for us to help you, right? I mean, it's kind of like the doctor. You know, if you go to the doctor and the doctor looks at you and says, oh my gosh, get in the ambulance quick. You go to the hospital and you're going, well, what do you mean? The doctor hadn't done any diagnosis yet, right? I've got to have, Art and I have to have some data. Right? So the more data you give me, garbage in, garbage out. So if you give me good data, in other words, you know, bring in your statements, okay? If you have annuities, if you have stocks, bonds, mutual funds, we need to take a look at those because we want to see what kind of fees are in there as well, because those fees will kill you.
Sure.
So we want to take a look at all that. So you bring those things into us as much as you can bring in, and we'll go ahead and be able to then have the data that we need to go ahead and put together a plan. We also want to make sure that, folks, we want to know what your goals are. Okay, I want to get to know you. All right, you're not a number to us. Art and I are we're a boutique kind of company. You know, we're not Morgan Stanley or some, you know, that's not who we are. Most of our clients, we end up being very good friends with them. But we want you to come in, and I want to get to know who you are, what your goals are. I want to know about your kids. I want to know if you want to leave a legacy. You know, some folks do, some don't. So I need to know all those things, and then we can really put a plan together.
And I think that's the important thing. That's what this is all about. It's having a written plan, a guide you can follow.
Absolutely.
I mean, you wouldn't go on a trip without a plan, right?
Right.
Why would you go on the trip of a lifetime without a plan?
Yeah.
And that's what retirement should be.
Right.
A trip of a lifetime. Well, believe it or not, my friend, we're coming up to the end of the show here. Can you believe that?
No, we're having too much fun here.
I'm having a great time. But I want you to do me a favor because we only got a few spots left.
Right.
Would you share with everybody what you're offering today?
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, we're going to do a complimentary review for you. All right, if you'll come in and see us, we'll be more than happy to put together this plan we're talking about, okay, a good comprehensive plan that'll take into effect, you know, we want to make sure your car's not parked and sitting there, right? But we also want to make sure that we don't hit all the, you know, the road bumps. Okay, we know where they are, so we're going to help you steer that car. We're going to look at your income. We're going to look at what is your goal? What goal do you have in retirement? Okay, do we have enough income? We take a look at all of it to get you there, and if we don't, where are the gaps? And then how do we help fill those gaps? We also have to take into account inflation, and we have to take into account taxes, folks. How many of you believe taxes are going to go up? I think. So we got to take those things into account. So give us a call. We'd be glad to do that for you. It's a 30-minute call, simple. Just pick up the phone. My team's standing by right now. You can either do a Zoom call, we'll do a PDF, send you a PDF file, or you can come in and see us, whatever works for you. But please give us a call so we can get your car moving. 844-299-0355. That's 844-299-0355.
And again, that's completely complimentary, folks, but spaces are limited. Please call in and claim your spot. The spot that could change your life forever. Those questions that keep you up at night. You can finally have the solutions you've been looking for. But you got to take action. 844-299-0355. We want to thank you for being with us. Be well and enjoy your retirement.